The girlfriend Van is great. She's also in that actress is also in Joker.
What's she playing Joker? Oh,
yes.
She plays the person that he keeps seeing.
Yes, his neighbor.
Cool.
I believe Zazie is her first name. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but it's kind of spelled like Zazie Beetz.
Okay.
She's also in a few superhero movies. Like she's in the Deadpool movie, which she's also great in, and she's an actress I like a lot. I feel like in Deadpool she's very much like a commanding kind of action presence, and I feel like she's an actress that can go really good in like maybe a more female-led like action movie. Like I would be very interested in seeing that. So the girlfriend I like. There's a lot of performances that I like a lot. Oh, and Paperboy is also in Joker. Paperboy. Okay, there's a scene in Joker when he goes to the asylum and he's trying to get his mother's records.
Right.
Okay, the orderly that's there.
That's him.
That's Paperboy.
Okay, cool.
And then of course, like Lakeith Stanfield's character of Darius. And you know, if you have watched the show, you know that Lakeith Stanfield is probably my favorite new actor. And he is just the hysterical weirdness of this show. When you talk about the comedy, it's very much through that character.
Yeah. Well, it's also, he's such a bonehead in this show, which is actually nice to see because we've never seen him. I've never seen him playing this type of character before, but he nails it just like the stoner. Like.
Well, so I talked about this on our Sorry to Bother You podcast about kind of surrealist absurdity.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that in Atlanta, but kind of through a different tone than it is in Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah.
While Sorry to Bother You, it's more of a silly absurdity or a silly surrealism.
Yeah, it's a little darker here.
Atlanta, there's a very dark surrealism. Atlanta, Donald Glover explained to it as, he said, it's Twin Peaks with rappers.
Yeah.
And when we watched the first episode last night, and there is the kind of scene on the bus that feels very much like it's out of Twin Peaks, where he sits down and basically this man in a suit kind of just says these weird philosophies to him and then like makes a Nutella sandwich and then tries to get him to eat it. And then the police like pull the bus over and he just walks out into the woods.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like
into
goes
the
down
darkness.
into the woods.
So there's a lot of that throughout the show, this kind of dark surrealism. And what I like about it is I talked on our Sorry to Bother You podcast about how...
It's funny how that one comes up almost every week somehow.
Sorry to Bother You?
Yeah. Probably because
it's a great movie.
And, well, yeah, but also it deals... Oh, here we go. Chair issues again.
The chair was down.
Second week in a row. No, because it's such a timely one, you know? That's
it can... Sorry to Bother You, there's just a lot to talk about. I mean, especially for, like, Boots Riley, it's his first movie. There's a lot in there to talk about.
Right.
But when I had mentioned that kind of surrealism and absurdity, you know, while it's not showing the world as it literally is, it can actually say more about the real world than if you were to show it in the most realistic way possible. And there's a lot of kind of like surrealist danger around the corner throughout all of Atlanta.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Kind of like it gives the impression from the very first episode that this is a weird place with weird people, and if you go down the wrong corner, like some mysterious figure might get you.
Yeah, I mean, you got Lakeith Stanfield's character when Donald Glover's character is coming over to sort of convince Paperboy to be his manager. He's like, Lakeith Stanfield's character is hiding behind with a knife, just in case.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's all. I don't see like Dave like worrying about like I better have a knife on me in my girlfriend's apartment. Like,
you know, Atlanta is very much there's danger around the corner, and there's also just there's kind of a real seediness to Atlanta, especially when in the later episodes, when Paperboy becomes more successful and more industry people are around him, there is a kind of seediness and a strangeness of you can't quite trust everybody.
Well,
and
I don't know how strange that is.
And not only that, there are also just like some things in the show that are completely ridiculous. Like there's one scene when they're at a club and there's some other rapper there. I don't think he was like an actual real life rapper. I think it was just a rapper in the show.
Right.
And Lakeith Stanfield's character is like, "Oh, I heard he got an invisible car, man." And it's like, "I heard he got an invisible car." I was like, the dude doesn't have an invisible car. That's ridiculous. And then in the very last second of the show, a fight breaks out like with the rapper, and you see him just floating, like kind of like he's driving an invisible car.
That's
and
amazing.
He runs over a bunch of people. And it's just like little things like that are hysterical. And the Nutella sandwich dude actually comes up again.
Really?
They're watching TV and he's on a commercial and he's like talking about it's kind of like an infomercial, and he's talking about like the secrets of life. Like, you ever know those like infomercials?
Yeah.
And
3 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. And they have like testimonials of people.
Who was the guy who? Oh yeah. Who was the guy who fucking died? The ShamWow guy.
Did he die or was he in prison? No. Willie Mays died.
Willie Mays, yeah.
Willie Mays died.
That's what I'm thinking of.
But it's fun. It's a
Willie Mays, like the baseball player. His name was Willie Mays.
Maybe Billy Mays. Maybe something Mays.
Yeah,
it was
not
something
Willie
Mays. He wasn't ShamWow guy, but the ShamWow guy went to prison.
I don't know who the ShamWow guy. That's great. I don't love when people die or go to prison, but it's funny when people like that.
I don't
There's
know.
No way to say
I'm not
that
sure what exactly he did, but I'm pretty sure he went to prison.
How about the My Pillow guy was a crackhead? Like,
I didn't know he was a crackhead.
Dude, the My Pillow
guy?
Yeah, like 5 years ago. Not that long ago.
How long has My Pillow been around?
I don't know. But I mean, maybe it's not that recent, but it's pretty recent. It's like not that long ago. It might have been like 2009. He was like living on the streets as a crackhead. I have a question about Atlanta. The opening scene, is this not reality? Like, did he not really kill that guy in the parking lot? Because then that kind of...
You want to just...
Oh, so that gets dealt with at some point?
It gets dealt with in the next episode, and then...
So he actually did shoot someone.
And then it's just kind of in the background.
Okay.
Like, you never see, like... any major repercussions of it. Like he's on parole for basically the next 2 seasons, but it's never really brought up again. And that's another thing about Atlanta, is that a lot of the show takes place off camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
A lot of a lot of it will jump from episode to episode, and like some big event will happen in their lives
that
like
wasn't on screen.
That just wasn't on screen, or like they'll like have a big success in like their industry that just wasn't on screen, because this show is more about their day-to-day lives of just trying to make it to the next day. Mm-hmm. All right, what I was saying before about the guy with the Nutella sandwich, basically there's a testimonial of like a dude who's helped, and he's just like, yeah, my life was in shambles, and then he made me a Nutella sandwich, and suddenly I just saw everything so clearly.
That's great.
And it was just great.
I love those infomercials, just like who's that girl Joy who like Jennifer Lawrence played? She's from Long Island.
Yeah. Well, I know her from the movie.
Yeah, she invented,
from the movie Joy.
Yeah, but she
invented the the mop where you basically don't have to like wring it out with your hands.
I mean, these are the unsung heroes of the world. There should be a documentary just about like those types of people, you know?
I mean, I guess Joy kind of was.
Yeah,
I mean, it was about multiple people, and they were all like put into one.
Oh,
Jennifer
is that
Lawrence.
Oh, really?
That didn't all happen to the same person.
Oh shit.
No.
All right.
It was
Hollywood people.
Yeah. Another thing about Atlanta.
Wait, are you trying to say movies aren't 100% accurate?
Another thing about Atlanta
I have
is
a problem with that.
I talk about the surrealism, that some of it you can like see the reason for it, and some of it was just silly. In the like Atlanta universe, Justin Bieber is black. And they never explain why. Like it's just like, yeah, and then they're on to the next thing. Like kind of, there's one, they're doing like a celebrity basketball game, and Ern just looks over and is like, oh my god, Justin Bieber is here. And it's you know, a black actor who's dressed exactly like Justin Bieber and acting exactly like Justin Bieber.
That's pretty funny.
And I mean, yeah, I guess it's trying to say that like if Justin Bieber was a black kid, then maybe like people wouldn't be so accepting of all the stupid shit that he does. Like that's I think it's more just, you know, Donald Glover wants to add
Bieber's been pretty normal the last
He's
few
been
years.
normal recently.
And his music has gotten better.
But there was a time when he was, you know,
when he was on DJ Khaled's I'm the One.
When he was drunk driving his Ferrari with his dad.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
I mean,
I was in a documentary where a fake documentary where I played a guy who transforms into Justin Bieber.
I remember this.
College. Yeah, the woman who directed it, Eva Anderson, is now legit like a fucking anchor on the like nightly news in Iowa.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, she's like the fucking Wendy Williams. I don't who. I'm trying to think of like who of night.
Sade Veteranois.
Sure. She's like that in Iowa.
Rachel Maddow.
God.
But I mentioned
I said God because MSNBC is a pile of crap.